Hey everybody, I'm Tim, and today it's time for a different type of cigar aroma. You're watching Cigars Daily. Get more out of this and all our videos when you join the community on Cigars Daily Plus. When you talk about the word aroma, these days it sort of comes up with a negative connotation. A lot of the times in our culture, when we talk about a thing having a particular aroma, it ain't a good thing. And certainly premium cigars get looped into all of that. For some of us, the aroma of a cigar reminds us of something great from our childhood. Maybe your grandpappy used to smoke cigars on the porch, and the smell of a cigar reminds you of him. But for a lot of people, cigars are one of those things that have a particular type of scent, an aroma that drives them away. Personally, I've always smelled a premium cigar, and to me it smells like some of my best and most fond memories. But certainly when it comes to cigars, when it comes to the overwhelmingly vast ocean of different types of cigars out there, there's actually a huge variety to this aroma thing in the world of cigars. There's lots of different types of blends out there, and each one sort of has its own different and interesting aroma. And so today I want to take you through some cigars that have a different kind of scent, and even some aromatic cigars to give a whole different experience, not just in flavor and profile as you sit there and enjoy them yourself, but also to people who might be sitting around you who may be more or less favorable to this thing you've fallen in love with. And so I'll ask you up front, is there a cigar that the aroma of the cigar, not the flavor profile, not the dry draw on the thing, but the aroma in the air as someone's puffing on the cigar, that it's unique, different, interesting, or better than other cigars to you, or maybe even the people you live with? Drop that down in the comments, and if you're looking for a cigar with a good aroma, you can find out from other members of the Cigars Daily Nation there. But what I want to take you into is a handful of different cigars that have very unique aromatic aspects to them. And with no further ado, let's jump right in. I'm going to start with a basic traditional type of cigar blend, but even among traditional cigars that have really nothing added to them, they're just a blend of different types of leaf, there is a huge variety of aromas. Milder cigars have one type, darker, bolder, stronger cigars certainly have another type. But this right here is Aganorsa's La Validacion Connecticut. This is a mild to medium strength cigar that comes with some very nice and more mild aroma and scent to what it actually puts out. If people were sitting around you while they were smoking this, they might even say, "My God, that's pleasant." And some of that is because, unlike a lot of the stronger Maduro and broadleaf and Mexican San Andreas cigars, the smoke is a little bit lighter, a little bit more airy, and it sits on the palate in a bit of a different way. This is the kind of cigar that the aroma itself can put off simple notes of cedar and almonds, and even carry a light sweetness to it. Of course, just about every brand out there makes some variety of a Connecticut Shade cigar, and many of them have that milder aroma to them. And so as you go sit down on your patio to enjoy a great cigar, and remember that your neighbor has a pack of dogs, and your time to enjoy a cigar is also their bathroom break time, that might be the time to break out a Connecticut, lighten up the aroma. But when you talk about this idea of the scent in the air around someone who's lit up a cigar, there's no more distinct smell than that of a flavored or infused cigar. By God, someone lights one of those up in any cigar shop in America, and somebody's bound to say something. "Who's smoking that goddamn thing over there?" It's very, very distinct. You see, infused cigars are ones that have something added to the flavor, and it's not just a blend of leaf, but notes and flavors added like vanilla or cherry, sometimes coffee and chocolate, give these cigars a very distinct scent in the air. Anyone sitting around you while you're enjoying an infused cigar is going to know that you are enjoying an infused cigar. You're not going to hide it from anybody. This one I got in my hand is from Foundation Cigars, from a line called the Upsetters. This is the Django. This is a cigar, and the whole Upsetters line is one of the last that uses Jamaican leaf in the blend. It gives it a bit of an interesting experience for flavor, but also the infusion of these cigars is, gosh, it's really hard to put my finger on it, because unlike the cigars that have flavors like coffee and chocolate and, cherries or something like that, these ones, the best way I can describe the flavor is like Rasta. I mean, lighting one of these up is like putting your palate on a plane and sending it to Jamaica to sit on the beach and enjoy a fruity mixed drink. It's a very sweet, I could smell this thing literally as I'm holding it right now. But for guys who are looking to win over their wife to the like wonderful world of cigars, infused blends are one of the number one tactics people go to. You find something infused that puts that sweet fruity scent in the air, and suddenly your wife goes from ooh to ooh. And I gotta be honest, for the longest time, there was basically two categories of cigars out in the market. There were traditional cigars, there were just a blend of leaves and basically nothing else. And then there were infused cigars that had some flavoring added to them to give them that extra sweet type of scent. But these days, there's a new arena, a new sphere of cigars popping up all over the place, and it's taking over with really quite surprising force, and that is aromatic cigars. So it's only fitting to talk about them in our aroma video here, because this is Drew Estate's Deadwood Fat Bottom Betty. These cigars are unique because they're not infused and flavored, but they're also not quite not infused and flavored. They live somewhere in between. The way that this cigar can best be described is to say that it's basically one step shy of being aromatic pipe leaf. So if you've ever smelled someone like sitting there and puffing on a pipe, a wise old detective thinking about a case that he's trying to crack, that is the smell of a pipe. It's a very unique smell, and a lot of the smoke will offer this scent of sweetness in the air that comes with these very delicate notes. It's like the smoke itself almost has a bouquet of flavor. Deadwood is very much designed to be that type of an experience, and the aroma in the air certainly offers that. When you light up a Deadwood cigar, you're gonna know, because it doesn't smell like a flavored cigar, but it's also not quite that traditional cigar smell. And I gotta tell you, I can always tell when somebody is going to be looking for a Deadwood cigar. If I was in a cigar shop and people are looking around, it's typically one of two people. And not everybody fits into this category because, dear God, if there's one thing I don't want to do, it's put us all into a pigeonhole and stereotype everybody. But typically, the Deadwood smoker is a lady with a ring on her finger who's shopping with her husband, or, for whatever reason, a big, gnarly biker who's got a leather cut on that says Raw Dog on it, and he's got a big beard, and he says, "Where's your Deadwood cigars?" Somehow, the sweet, sort of aromatic flavor of this cigar appeals to a whole range of people. Now, I want to take a quick turn back into the world of traditional cigars very briefly to talk about one where there's sort of a shift in aroma, a transition in aroma, if you will. This is one of the highest qualities to cigar lovers, is that change of flavor. If a cigar's experience can transition and offer something new and unique at some point, that is generally considered by aficionados to be a good thing. And there's one guy who does this better than anybody else, and that is Oscar Valderez with his lines of cigars that use this tobacco leaf band on it. This cigar right here, of course, is the Daily Edition Earth by Oscar, but this isn't the only cigar line that he makes with this tobacco leaf ring on it. He also makes a line called Leaf by Oscar, and he's even got a couple other variations of this cigar ring in his catalog. This is one that's very fascinating to me because unlike most rings on a cigar, which are made of paper and like gold foil and ink, which is definitely not anything that anyone wants to light through, I promise it doesn't make the experience better. It only makes it worse and can only be worse in the world. But certainly with this one, if you put this band on, I even catch myself sliding the band closer to the foot, and as that burn line goes straight through the band, it drastically changes the flavor of the cigar and the aroma of everything in the air. This is the cigar that I'll sit at my desk and enjoy, and anytime I do, Terrence will walk by and be like, "You smoking an Earth by Oscar?" And I always am, because you can definitely smell when you get to that band. It's something that releases outside of the typical aroma of a traditional cigar. The band releases this sweet, almondy type scent into the air that's unmistakable, only just for a couple of minutes, making it the perfect thing to have on a cigar and slide up for that moment when you're smoking, you're sitting next to your wife and she's like, "Did you fart?" And you like slide the band up because, let's face it, you just farted. We have already gone through a lot of different types of aromas just in this video. And again, I'll remind you, drop your comment with the best aromatic out there that you can think of. What is the cigar that the smoke sort of has the best, most pleasant atmosphere in the room? But this is a line of cigars I cannot not mention in this video because this is top tier, cream of the crop, like crafted for flavor experience and aroma. And that is Dunbarton's Stillwell Star. This is the Aromatic number 22. Okay, so Steve Saka has crafted this line of cigars that is, I think, truly unique to the cigar industry. While I said that the Deadwood is basically one step shy of being pipe leaf, the Stillwell Star is straight up blended with black air cured leaf. That's the stuff all premium cigars are made of, and pipe leaf. Steve Saka got together with famed pipe blender Jeremy Reeves to craft this line of cigars that blends pipe leaf along with cigar leaf to create very interesting blends with some very different flavor profiles. There's like 5 different cigars in this line at this point. Each one of them is this Toro size, but all of the blends are drastically different from each other. Probably my favorite here is the Aromatic number 22, which the flavor profile on this, like I've heard people call it horchata, if you even know what that is. To me, this is almost like, I don't know, I don't want to say eggnog because a lot of people don't like eggnog, but it's like very sweet, very almost mocha. It's like lighting up Christmas morning. And certainly the smell of the aroma of the smoke in the air gives off that very bright, very festive scent in the air. When you light one of these up in any lounge, it's not going to be the same as with a flavor infused cigar where the guy in the corner is like, "Who just lit up a cherry bomb?" People are like, "Oh, you must be smoking a Stillwell Star." And I gotta say, there are different things in your life that have smells and scents to them that aren't things like your neighbor's dog taking a dump in the yard. Things like your teenager's attitude. You might not have thought about it before, but your teenager's attitude, it does have a particular scent to it. The scent is called piss poor. It's exactly the kind of awful smell that typically can be remedied by a nice and much better aroma in the air. You know, an amazing thing about cigars is how unbelievably diverse they are. Flavor profiles, wrapper leaf, sizes of cigars, everything all the way down to the aroma creates a nearly limitless number of different experiences, not just for the aficionado, but for everybody sitting around them. And so when people are looking for this idea of aroma, and I do get questions about this from time to time, here are just a few cigars that present different types of aromatic experiences, some of them exciting. And of course, I'll remind you, you can look down in the comments for people talking about their cigars that have presented aromas or stories of aromas that other people have told them about. And so check those down there. And I do want to encourage you to check this video out on the community on Cigars Daily Plus. Thank you all so much for watching. This is Tim signing off for Cigars Daily, and I will see you in the comments.